Welcome to a Chart Nerd technical analysis video. Today we will be discussing the likes of Velo against the USDT on its weekly time frame. Now before I start the technical analysis, I wanted to post some recent news from the Velo protocol team themselves, who have posted about a new AMA that's going to be happening on the 16th of December. So if we take a look at their posts very quickly, what it says here, you will notice, is that are you ready for this, Velorians? In 5 days time, Beam Lightnet, the co-founder of Lightnet Group and a backer of Velo, is stepping into the spotlight for his first ever AMA. Expect insights, innovation and a bold vision for the future. This isn't just another AMA, this is the moment. So very speculative here, and I'm going to take it with a little bit of a pinch of salt for now, but what could we be expecting to see here for Velo? Who knows? Now a little bit more about this man here, Mr. Tridbody, and who he is. So he is the Vice Chairman and Group CEO of Lightnet, the revolutionized settlement and clearing network in the partnership with Interstellar and CP Group family members to provide banking services and empower the 450 million underbanked Southeast Asians. So this is Mr. Tridbody here. He's the Vice Chairman and Group CEO of Lightnet. Now, a little bit more about him before we get into the TA. He is also the founder of Money Table Co. Limited, founded in 2016, where he's the CEO. He is also the founder of Lightnet Co., founded in 2018, where he holds the title of Vice Chairman, and he is also working as Vice Chairman at Velo Labs Technology. So we have some direct contact, a lot of direct contact, should I say, to this man. He is a very, very important individual, and there will be an AMA with him on as his first ever AMA, sharing insights, innovation, and the vision for Velo's future. So very, very exciting, guys. Make sure you do tune in. They haven't posted an exact time or location for this AMA yet, but I'm sure they'll follow up with some more details very shortly. Now, getting back to the TA side of things here for Velo, which majority of us are here for, looking at the daily time frame, we do have this support line. Again, very, very simple here, guys. Trend lines, you know, anyone can say you could draw a line on a chart, right? But we have been holding this ascending level of support since the 5th of November, when we did put in that 0.0104 low. Now you can see that we've had a retest of support here on the 15th of November. We then came in for a retest of support on the 21st, where we had this breakout, and since the 21st of November we haven't actually come back to retest this trend line on the daily time frame. Now if we zoom into the 4 hour, so we're going to have a little bit more of a look into the zoomed in time frames today, you'll notice that at the moment Velo has key support right here on 0.002. So let me get rid of this for a moment. We have support on 0.02, spit it out. We had support here on the 5th of December. We came up and put in a new high than the previous high here on the 4th of December. And this is our 0.033 top. Now at this point we came back in for a correction, and we found support once again on this 0.02 trend line. Now we've seen relief here, and we've come up to a key level of resistance, and I'm going to show you why right now we're being pushed down over the last sort of 8 hours. And it's because if we get a Fibonacci on from these 0.02 lows going back to our 0.033 highs, what you'll notice is Velo has come up to a key level of resistance at 0.618 Fibonacci. So this is the golden ratio, and is, you know, once you've had the retracement and you eventually get the bounce, this is the point of contact where we generally tend to see a key level of resistance. So the pushback from here is relatively normal, but the only concern I have on the lower time frames right now for Velo, and why we could pull back to that daily trend line I was just showing you, is because we have a potential, this doesn't have to play out, a potential head and shoulders pattern. So if I extend this fib over to the left, you'll see that this 0.618 was also a previous level of resistance before, over here on the 4th of December, and again we've just ran shy of that right now on the 12th, so just over a week later. And you'll notice that I think what could be occurring here is a potential head and shoulders pattern, where we've got a left shoulder. We had the head to 0.013, which we tried to break out of but failed on 2 occasions, and then we had the pushback down to support, and right now we've had the right shoulder formation, where the candle closes have come very close, just above the 0.50 towards the 0.618, and it looks like we're coming back again for another retest on this 0.022. So if we lose 0.022, which we haven't done yet, we're still at 0.026, so a fair way away if you consider, but the fact that we are running into this key resistance and we do have a left shoulder that ties up in the same range with a head could indicate that we are going to see some further downside. Now, going from getting a sort of rough target or breakdown target for this head and shoulders, it wouldn't be too tasty if we was to see it, because it would potentially bring us down to 0.016. Now, that again is quite a stretch of a dip from here and would be a further 38%. And if we go from the 0.033 highs, this would be a whopping 51% correction for Velo. So it's asking for a lot, considering the current conditions, considering the fact that on the macro time frames, the weekly and the daily, we're still above key EMAs, which I will show you shortly as well. So this doesn't have to play, but it's something I'm monitoring if we lose 0.022. So that's just a play to keep in mind. We are running into resistance. What we could also do here, if that doesn't occur, if it doesn't have to occur, if we hold support and we can come back here for our higher low and not actually retest this trend line and build some sort of ascending support here under resistance, for example, this is also a possibility. If we can come up, we've got this resistance, if we can come back, form a higher low, and then come up and tackle this resistance, then I think it gives more confidence that we are looking to bounce up from here, and this was our local lows that we've been holding since the 5th of December. So again, just over a week. So if we can continue to hold 0.022 and build up a foundation in this period and build some higher low structure, I think that gives more confidence that we're going to break out here. Now, if we are to break out from this range, again, we just have to see a breakout of the golden ratio. So if we get a fib back on, going back to that high, as long as we can take out 0.028, if you ever see Velo in the next couple of days, until my next update, taking out 0.028 and 27, if we manage to, as I said, come back higher low and eventually get the breakout of these ranges and this local high, then this gives more confidence that we are looking for that next push up for Velo. So it's all about reclaiming this golden ratio and holding this 0.022 low on the lower time frames. Now, if we go out to back to the daily time frame again, and we get this EMA on the 20 EMA, when you're above this EMA, you're typically in an uptrend. So if we look back from our prior 0.007 lows, and we managed to get back above the EMA here on the 12th or 13th of August, since that point, and when Velo did reclaim that EMA, it held it as support, broke out, held it as support, broke out, held it as support, broke out. And then eventually, when we started to lose it and hit our heads on the EMA and fall underneath it, this is it where it was indicating a downtrend. And then eventually we put in that low again, which was on the 5th of November at 0.01. Yep, that's right. And we eventually managed to get back above the EMA. Now, once we reclaimed it, backtested it for support, we had a breakout. We didn't backtest it here on the 25th. So we actually went for quite a while without a 20 EMA backtest. And in fact, if you think this was the last time the 20 EMA was backtested until as of recent on the 10th of December. We hadn't backtested it since the 21st of November. So it had been, where did we come in for that first backtest? 19 days without backtesting the 20 EMA. It was going to happen at some point, and we've done that over the past couple of days here. And this is why I'm saying, if you zoom out a little bit, unless we lose this EMA and that 2-2 low, right now Velo still looks okay for continuation. If we lose 0.02 lows and lose this 20 EMA, this is where we analyze for further corrections. Now, if we are to come back any further from this point and start retracing back to our 0.01 lows, key support that sticks out to me straight away is this range here on this previous cluster of resistance and support on the 050 and the 0618. Now, ironically, if you remember the 4-hour head and shoulders pattern we was looking at earlier, the breakdown target was to 0.016. And that target, if we do have some sort of, again, you can see it very briefly here on a daily, if we do have a head and shoulders breakdown, we'll go from this sort of neckline. If we do come down and lose it eventually from the shoulder, you do have a sort of breakdown from that target that would bring us towards the 0618 at 0.016. So we do need to watch that head and shoulders pattern on the 4-hour very closely. But as long as we remain above the EMAs, we are relatively safe, this daily 20 EMA. And if we lose it, these are our key support targets on the retracement back down to this low from this high. Okay, so I will keep us updated on that front. And also, one last thing before I go. If Velo does lose its its daily 20 EMA, which currently sits at 0.0223, if we lose this daily 20 EMA, just zoom out to the weekly and you'll notice that the weekly 20 EMA is still relatively far away, and we've had the breakout, and this would also act as a key level of support if we lost the daily EMAs. Now obviously at the moment that sits quite low at, where are we, roughly at around 0.016 actually, so that again ties up with the 4-hour head and shoulders breakdown. It's a little bit of confluence there, but this will be creeping up over time. So if we lose the daily 20 EMA, zoom out to the weekly 20 EMA. It's that simple. You lose the EMAs on a lower time frame, you zoom out to the next time frame, and then you look to see if they're above or below the EMAs in regards to trend direction to help sort of analyze. So at the moment everything looks relatively okay. There is some as I said on the 4-hour, that sort of bearish structure that's playing out. We are starting to, on the 4-hour, looking to close below the 20 EMA. So if we do close below that, that might just give us the heads up that Velo is from this high. You know, you've got this high right now, we've got a lower high, you've got this low. It could look like Velo is going to start retracing back down to this 0.02 range, and it'll be all about holding that low at this point to invalidate this head and shoulders. But I just wanted to give you the guys the heads up that this could eventually break down if we don't see a pickup in the market relatively soon for Velo. Now I do think we could also see bullish signs if we can manage to get the close this week above 0.023. If Velo can close out this week above 0.023, I think that would be a very bullish statement. Now again, it's the previous candle close highs of May 2024 and earlier this year, which was our triangle resistance, and where we was building up in the space of 6 to 7 months, and we eventually got that breakout. We formed that bullish cross, didn't we, on the weekly time frame, and we've seen this impulsive move. Now again, the structure is still bullish. The only reason I say that, if you zoom out a little bit more, it's just higher lows and higher highs over time. So you've got the all-time low, you had this high, we had a base of higher lows here, we put in a higher high, we've had a base of higher lows here, and now we've just put in another higher high. So right now the structure, as you can see, is climbing up the stairs very slowly but surely, looking for continuation of the trend. So it's all about where support is from this high. Could we be coming back to the weekly 20 EMA for support? Which would land us, I think, over time. If you look at these previous closes for Velo on the weekly, it's roughly around 0.018. If Velo comes back any further and loses this yellow trend line at 2.3, I think it gives more confidence that we could be coming back down to retest these previous candle closes of September at 0.018, and at that time the 20 EMA could be creeping up and we could come down and match them for a retest and then get the break going into next year, 2025, guys. Okay, so I'm not fearful in any way whatsoever at the moment. We're in bullish territory. We've taken out the previous local high. We're just coming back for a key level of support, and it's just finding out where that, you know, sort of support level is. Is it going to be this 2.3 low, 2.3 previous high, and we hold that and continue, or are we going to lose that support on 2.2/2.3 and come back for a larger correction towards the weekly 20 EMA as it creeps up on these previous highs and then get the bounce out of here? That's my sort of theory moving forward for Velo right now. Now I hope you've enjoyed the content. From Chart Nerd TA, take care, peace out.